Yes, I did buy the crypto crash today, and no, it's not what you think. You see, all these people gonna start buying apeshit leverage and trying to time the exact bottom, and I know none of these is actually possible to pull on a larger scale, so I took a little bit of a different approach, and I really wanna share it with you in this show. Now, if you have been watching my content, and if you have been paying attention, I drop these daily updates, and then October 18th, I dropped this video called "This is the End of the Bull Market." In that video, I explained how I got out of the market with the majority of my spot positions, closed all my risky buys, everything else, and now I have some cash to deploy back into the market. The total market cap is down about 35% since then, and only the last month alone, Solana down 32%, Arbitrum 35%, Link 30%, AVAX 33%, but all these tokens actually had a 30, 40, 50% dip. So I think it's time to deploy back, and I've read all the comments on the videos, and there are so many of you who did the same. For example, Josh here said, sold at the right time, or you see here Derek saying, received a lot of money, and 50% of my positions have been sold, got out. There is Grace saying we saved her portfolio. There's Valen saying that it saved my account. So if you're also one of these people and you're sitting on cash and you're thinking when to layer back, this video is probably for you. Let's jump in. Before I say anything, nothing I say is financial advice. Always do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. Cryptocurrencies are risky. If you invest your money in cryptos, that is risky. Read the rest in the description. Only invest what you can afford to use, and always consult with your people. I hope this is going to be enough disclaimer. Let's get going. So what is the different method that I chose and how I actually bought this crypto crash? Now, I could just go leverage and then hope that I'm not going to liquidate it, but there would be very big 40% stop losses to the actual weekly lows. That's not something suitable. Two, I could just buy spot, which I think is a great idea, but the dip can keep dipping, and also you're very much trying to time the market if you do that, and there is no lower time frame confirmation for any reversal to the higher time frame, so that's not the smartest idea today as well. But I took 5% of my cash and I actually put them into grid bots, long grid bots. And if you think grid bots are stupid, take these 5 minutes and watch this video, because I'm telling you, this makes sense. So grid bots, especially used in a low leverage, are very similar than buying it on spot. The only difference is that grid bots take advantage of the market volatility. As you can see here, every time the market dips, it will keep buying, and on every pump, when the market pumps, it will keep selling. But because we set up longing bots, they will sell less than they buy, and ultimately be long on the market on a longer time frame. So it is very much like buying on spot, but you can also take advantage of the market volatility and the choppiness that is most likely going to happen in the next 2-3 months. Okay, so I took about 5 to 10% of my cash that I have taken out on October 18th and deployed back into the bots. Now I have this account that I'm running here publicly with the community, so I deposited $25,000 here just to show you how it actually works and set up the trade so you will be able to track the whole thing. Here's how I did it. If you take a 25,000 portfolio, I actually put the percentages here as well, so you can use whatever you want, and I'm also going to show you how to set up the bot, so if you want a different token that you believe in, you can do that as well. But I put 20% to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, so 20, 20, 20, and I put 10% to 4 different tokens that I think are going to be multi-cycle and do very well in 2026. But it's going to be hype because of the whole narrative I'm going to talk about in a second. 𝗏, Aster, and Arrow. So let's get going. Number one, I want to show you how I'm going to set up the bot, and I'm going to show you what tokens I used and why I chose the levels that I did. So I chose obviously Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin already had a 35% correction. I don't really think Bitcoin is going much lower. Now maybe I'm wrong and maybe we have a dip. This is why I actually set up on the weekly chart. If you look at the weekly chart, this is the absolute bottom, also on the 3-month chart and on the weekly chart. So this bottom should be the ultimate bottom. Even if we get to 50,000, it would be very surprising for me. But to be on the safe side, I used 50,000 on the bottom range, and I'm gonna use 200,000 on the top of the range, because I do believe that we are going to bounce, and in 2026, I do believe Bitcoin can hit 200 to 300,000, and we'll look back and see. But this is my expectation for now. How do I set it up? When I plot the ranges that I want to do, I go on Pionex. If you're not familiar with Pionex, they are literally the best bot trading exchange in my opinion. I'm not being paid by them. This is not a paid promotion. I do have an affiliate link, however, it's in the description. We may always make sure to get you the best deals so you can see the current deal running up here. But if you're just going to check the link in the description, you're able to land on the page and see exactly the terms and conditions so you can participate in that. But once you signed up and you have an account, you're able to just go here and copy all the settings if you want that I'm going to explain now. So we have all this set up. You can click and copy. It's much easier for you if this makes sense. But if you want to set it up for yourself, again, you selected the ranges, you go back here and you create on futures, and you create on futures bot. Once you go, you click on create, and then if for any reason it actually says that copy strategy and you see this, that's not what I want. What I want to do is I want to customize my bot, and after I picked Bitcoin on the left here, I can just select what I want to do. So if I go here, I click on Bitcoin, my lower range is 48,800. So I can go back here, 48,800, and as I said, my high range is going to be 200,000 because I think Bitcoin is going higher. If it only goes to 140, 120, 130, we're gonna reevaluate on the channel. This is also why it's worth for you to subscribe and turn the bell notifications on. I drop daily updates every single day on where the market is heading. We have an amazing community here that you can join in as well, so go and do that. But we'll see where it goes. I'm ambitious. I do believe that 200,000 is possible next year if the liquidity cycles and everything else comes into fruition. So once I have that, I select the number of grids. I usually use 400. You got to make sure that the profit is at least 0.15% down here, the grid profit. So I select 400 usually, and then I can put the actual investment amount. I'm going to put 5,000 in here, as I said, because that is the amount that I allocated here separately. You do whatever you feel like putting in. You might want to put more than 10% of your portfolio. You might want to put 5%. You might not want to use it at all, but this is what I did here. Extra margin, I'm not needed. Estimation liquidation price is 48,000, which is exactly what I said. So this is going to be my stop loss as well. I picked out auto reserve because I don't need that. I don't need it to hold more money. And then I can just click on create. It will tell me exactly what I'm doing. And then I'm clicking OK. And there we go. Again, this will also be in here already. So you can just click on there and copy the settings that we have so you can use it for your benefit. Now, I want to run through some of the tokens that I selected. You see all of the trades right here, by the way, that I literally took before recording the video, so I can link the settings in the description. But I want to give you my thought process. So my thought process, for example, with Bitcoin, I don't think we're going below the weekly and the 3-month chart as well. But I do believe the high is going to be up here. Therefore, because we came back 50%, this is going to be a great way to start taking advantage. Again, remember to taking advantage of this and taking advantage of the actual buying of the asset that will appreciate in value. It is 70% long, and so it's like buying on spot, but using the advantages of the market volatility. So looking at Ethereum, very, very clean chart, very simple setting. So the reason why I use Ethereum, you can look at the weekly, you can look at the monthly. There is a high close above here, a high close above here. There is the very, very clear bottom at 1400. So that's what I used on the Ethereum bot, 1400 on the bottom, and then I used 8,000 as the top. Then I have Solana. Same thing, 51. Again, I'm just looking at the weekly level. So I'm looking at the weekly and I say this is most likely, even if Solana starts really nuking, I hope it doesn't get below 51. I don't see a possibility for that. But the high is 300, so I actually put the profit on 400. And this is my thought process of creating any of these. When it comes to Hype, for example, that I also have opened. So I said I opened Hype, Arrow, and Esther. Two of them, and Tau. Two of them to talk about is Hype and Arrow. Hype and Esther, sorry. Hype, the reason why I put it down here, this was the October 10th week. I just can't see Hype generating so much volume and so much money in revenue and going down to $20. Like, that's not something I can actually see. I don't even think it's gonna get to 25, 30, but I just put it down here just in case. Actually, my high bottom is 15, so I put the bottom of the range on $15 if in case we get there, but I don't think that is going to happen. And then Esther, I'm extremely bullish on Esther because of CZ, because of the whole narrative of perpetual dexes, and but the reason why I put the bottom down here at 0.5 is because I don't know how good this thing is, how much of this is fluff, whatever. So I use this. On Tau, very simple, October 10th week. So I do believe Tau, as an AI narrative, especially coming up in the United States, it's going to be insane. So I put my stop loss down here at 110, and then Arrow, because Base is doing something incredible. Coinbase obviously going to perform extremely well next year. In my opinion, this is obviously just my opinion. I put my bottom stop loss down here, as liquidation level down here at 0.2. And it's very important that whatever I put into these positions, I am going to lose if the market gets to these levels. But I don't think that these tokens, especially these tokens that I talked about, and this is why I selected also different percentages, I don't think Bitcoin is going down to 50,000. I don't think Ethereum is going down to 1,400. If it does, well, then I am going to get stopped in this position, but it's worth 5 to 10% of my portfolio. I do think that I want to take advantage of the volatility as well. It absolutely makes sense for me to do it. And then there is one more bot that you might be wondering what this is. So I do have this bot open, which is depending on when you watch this video, but this is the Folks long bot. Now, if you don't know what it is a short-term bot. I actually put this up here in a community. I have a private community. It's free. You can join in the fam. You will find everything in the description. So join in the fam to get this alpha. The reason why that is in there, because I shared it yesterday and it is up 60% since then. It's doing quite fine. I share some of these from time to time. So again, it's just worth joining in, pinning it, and turning the notifications on. Again, everything said, there is a link in the description to all this. So you will be able to join the fam. One, you will be able to copy the settings as well. And also, if you just want, you know the method on how I layered back into the market with about 5 to 10% of my portfolio. You see how I did it. So if you want, you can take advantage of this and take it on your own. Guys, truly appreciate it. Let me know in a comment if you have any questions or whatever you might want to know. And check out this video. This is explaining much more in depth how I'm setting up a bot. This is quite an old video, but it's still amazing about the great bots themselves. And then yeah, come back for the daily updates. I'll definitely see you tomorrow or next week, or depending on where you watch this, might even see you today. Take care.